Kia ora and welcome to Basketball New Zealand's presentation of this Under-23 National Championship semi-final. We see a clash this evening between Otago, 4-1 in pool play with a sole loss to Waikato, who have been rampant and await the winner of this final. And they will match up against the girls from the Bay, Tauranga, 3-2 and finished in third. It was a 12-point win to Otago in a competitive game 2 days ago in pool play. As we see Otago's team on screen now, they're led by Jenny Patterson, their leading scorer, 6 in the tournament, and she's ably supported by quite a balanced group of players there. And we also see the Tauranga team. They feature fringe tall firm Michaela Dyche and also the Rogers sisters being very prominent under the coaching of their mum, Rachel Guerra. Coach for Otago is Brent Matahaere. He is a former Junior Tall Ferns head coach, very familiar with many of these girls, so this Otago team will be exceptionally well prepared. It's been a very taxing few days for these young ladies. There was one pool of 6 teams. They played 5 games over the 3 days. They already have played this morning their final pool game. Otago, they started with a win by 9 over Porirua. Beat this Tauranga team by 12. They moved into Thursday with a dominant win over Manawatu and a resounding win in the evening over Canterbury. They got blown out by Waikato this morning, but in some ways that might be beneficial for them because you can kind of exit the game in terms of your key players. Okay, we're not going to win this game. You can rest them, save them for the bigger game to come in the evening with the semi-final. Tauranga, they have followed a pattern of win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Beating Canterbury, losing to Otago, beating Porirua, losing to Waikato, and then beating Manawatu this morning. So they'll be hoping to reverse their trend a little bit. Game streamed live on Basketball New Zealand's Facebook page. If you're coming to us via that medium, welcome. And also on the iFilm website, welcome to you if you're watching us through that point of access as well. About to see the tip-off. Tauranga in the predominant blue strip and in the brightly coloured yellow, Otago in their alternative strip. Otago will be running from right to left on your picture. Tauranga from left to right. We see Michaela Dyche in 15, the red shoes. She's going to jump, and she's very, very prominent for this Tauranga team. Second in the tournament in scoring at 21.2 points per game, second to only to Charlize Ledger-Walker, who is at 15 years old, I believe. 24 points a game at the under-23s, quite an incredible feat. Leading scorer for Otago is Jenny Patterson. They have a little bit more balance. She's at 11.4 points per game. Right behind that, the former Westlake girls product, Rose Davison, who's come down to Otago Uni, I believe, in her first year at the university, as many of these girls are in their first year at Otago Uni. And they have a little bit of balance. They probably go a little bit deeper. 7 key players: Patterson, Davison, Alia Dunn from Invercargill, young prospect, very good young basketball player and netball player. Estelle Schuler from Te Araha College in the Thames Valley region down in Otago. She's 8.4 points a game, very successful at these type of tournaments. Led her team to the semi-final at the Single A National Secondary School Championships last year and was a really big performer in making the tournament team. Hannah Gallagher, younger sister of Samara Gallagher, who has been a member of many national teams, including the Tall Ferns program. Olivia O'Neill, a young player, under 18, very explosive, quick first step. And then the young, long, big Libby Van Hasselaar. They get contribution from a number of those people. Tauranga, majority of their contribution, at least in terms of firepower, comes from the starters as the game tips off, and we see Otago, through the hands of Davison, win the tip, and they establish themselves in a little 3-around-2 type formation as they go in early to Alia Dunn, and well defended by Daesh, possibly looking to draw an early foul out of Tauranga's key player, and she managed to get the stop and also avoid the foul. It was interesting to see if Coach Brent Matahaere continues with that as we see an early jump shot fired away. And there's Olivia O'Neill, one of the younger players on the court. She's an exciting prospect very good athlete. She finds Patterson in the left corner, where she had a number of shots to win their game against Canterbury last night and help them secure this second seed in the semi-finals. Little UCLA type look here. Is O'Neill going to work again, and she's able to throw up a righty runner. Dunn on the O-boards, and she converts the basket against a smaller defender and draws the foul. Foul on Courtney Wilson for Tauranga, and she'll go to the line to add to the scoring. Dunn makes the free throw, completing the and one. Otago on the board first, 3-0 up over Tauranga in the blue. Tauranga with pretty much their first half-court set. Little rub screen there, and now they look to come into a triple post action, but Wilson fires away before that can develop. There's Michaela working hard on the O-board, and she answers. Big-time scorer for them, 21 points a game. The next highest scorer they have is at 12, so pretty important that she contributes. 3-2 zone here. Otago do have some capable shooters from the corners. O'Neill fires from that area but misses. Patterson with the O-board, and she now completes an and one. Drawing a foul there on one of the Rogers sisters. Long ponytail obscuring her number, but we'll work hard to differentiate the two. Both mum and dad really prominent coaches for a number of time. Congratulations to Rachel Gerda, who won the Contribution to Women's Basketball Award at the WBC this year, also head coach here. So that kind of commitment is why she won that award. And also the commitment to have two daughters who can really play. That's probably also another reason why teams value having her involved, because they get the two Rogers sisters and they really contribute, marked contribution to the teams. Dunn using her length. The battle of Daesh with the strength and Dunn with the length. Daesh a little bit older. Dunn, young, exciting. There's a big span of age groups at an under-23 tournament. You've got those top ages who turn 22 and they're away from home and possibly working at uni, and then you still have some young players that are maybe even under 17 or under 19 and in the thick of their high schooling. So it's a real interesting tournament because a lot of these people haven't played against each other, as we see Patterson with a crazy little right-hand runner coming across the middle and doesn't draw iron. Looking to post up Daesh here in this right side facing, little face up. And there's the length of Dunn. A shot block, and now those long arms, just a little bit of a surprising contest. She thought she could get that off, and it proved that she could not. And that's Courtney Wilson's second foul. One was on a little post up, and now that's a little cheap, little reach in. Could have been not called, but it has been. And given the lack of depth that Tauranga has, someone's going to have to step up, because she's probably going to have to spend a considerable amount on the bench. We probably won't see her for the remainder. There's Davison with a three, and she's hit the wrong side of the backboard. This will bring a stoppage, and we see entering the game for Tauranga Ngātai Bennett, possibly a member of the quite famous Bennett family from the Tauranga region. Number of coaches. Shout out to Tane if you're watching, and Mel. If she's not one of your relatives, you've got to plug anyhow, but I think she may be. Double horns look there, looking to pick and pop, and now into another ball screen. Well defended by O'Neill, and deep three from Rogers. And that's a pure shot right in the face of the outstretched arm from Otago. 6-5. Otago in the yellow with the early lead. Little high ball screen from Estelle Schuler. She'll know these girls well, as O'Neill tries to answer, and it's well long. Goes out of bounds. Estelle Schuler, she's from Te Araha, pretty close to the Bay of Plenty. She probably knows many of these girls well, having played at Zone 3 regional tournaments, qualifying tournaments, and in her youth career with the highly successful Waikato program. She'll be hoping to match up with her old mates again tomorrow in the final. Old coach Anthony Corbin waiting on, we've lost count of how many national titles, but he'll be looking for another one tomorrow. Estelle was a part of many of those, as Daesh gets to work getting a gain to her left shoulder and scores on the interior. The length of Dunn wasn't able to deter her then. allows them to set their 3-2 zone. Otago is playing very much above the free throw line extender here, which doesn't really exploit the weakness in the corners as Dunn travels on the post entry. A little bit of extension, man-to-man here from Otago. Token pressure. They kind of back out of it. No one really extending to take the kick ahead away. 11, Briley Rogers, I believe the older of the two Rogers sisters. Wing on ball, coming off, and there's Briley with a nice pass to the pocket, and she gets a good look, but she isn't able to knock it down. O'Board, she might get another look at it, but drives to her left and gets to a nice little left-hand runner. Can't quite complete it, and now Patterson breaks out into the open floor. Schuler surveying her options. Swing the ball, little dribble handoff action. Patterson shoots the ball well. They went under, and they don't want to do that as she rains fire from the right wing. All three scores for Otago coming in multiples of 3, 2 and 1s, and now a 3-point shot. Looking for a little high-low action. They collapse the D, and now Bennett with a little driving kick. Creating open shots, but they turn it down and they're able to drive in and draw a blocking foul on Patterson. Originally, I believe, spent many of her youth years in the Otago region. Left a couple of years on the Gold Coast. Many Kiwis, of course, pursuing that as a representative player there. I believe a short college stint, and now back University of Otago, I believe, and playing for her long-time home here in this RIP program as we see Katia Watane missed the first free throw. Watane, she's averaging just over 9 points a game for the tournament. 4th leading scorer for Tauranga. And we see another sub as Schuler comes out of the game, and she's replaced by the young Van Hassela. Young big. Her length combined with Dunn could cause problems on the interior for Tauranga with their finishing. Very compressed 3-2 zone. And Van Hassel has drawn a foul here on Rogers. Karen Marie pushing her on that pin down. Coach Guerra obviously doesn't rate the perimeter shooting for Otago because they're playing a very, very compressed zone. So it's going to be a little battle. Can Otago prove that they can beat that? And that's an interesting call, the 3 seconds. I mean, the ball had only just been inbounded. Potentially, there hasn't even been 3 seconds off the clock. And that deep duck can get called for 3 seconds. Must have been very, very close. Tauranga's going to need to do a better job. They can't rely on that call. They're going to need to get a arm across and prevent Dunn from getting deep catches. Fade screen to try to open up their shooter or draw the slip open. A lot of attention on Michaela Dace as she's trying to post on the interior. A little cut by Bennett along the baseline was open, but they didn't get her the ball. Bennett dogging O'Neill. This dribble handoff action's been productive. And Rose Davison, another and one. 3rd and 1 for Otago of the game. They have completed the initial 2. Some look of consternation about the inability to foul or avoid fouls for Tauranga. Assistant coach Tony Webster, hands on head. Not sure who he's exasperated with, the girls for their hand checking or the referees for their calls. And the M1 is completed again, so 4 3-point positions. Tauranga's main scoring avenue has been through the post with Daesh and through the spot-ups with the Rogers sisters. Bennett once again working the baseline with a little cut. Short close on Watene. She drew the foul earlier, showing an inclination to drive as opposed to shoot. She's been wide open on those catches, so she probably needs to look. And Alia Dunn, it's the 2nd time I believe she's reached in late. She got the early shot block. She did deter a catch and shoot, but this time with 1 second on the shot clock, firing up a fadeaway from behind the backboard, she's bailed Daesh out with a little foul. Fair enough call, caught her on the arm. Daesh leaves the first free throw short. Free throws really pivotal in both forms of the game, but we've seen throughout this tournament, a lot of the games in the women's competition, very low scoring. So those free throws will become even more pivotal. Looking at post done again. Good job denying by Rogers. They shift Daish back off to have to address the corner. Great verticality there by Rogers, stopping Dunn on the interior catch. Did a great job with her Dylan Boucher's strong arms. Just put those arms right through the ceiling as high as you can. Hold them tense, so if there's any contact on them, you kind of bounce off. She did that perfectly, as we see entering the game now. Georgia Teo, diminutive guard, likes to pressure the ball, and she immediately has an impact by extending. We see her doing a good job of keeping her hands out, but Rogers goes right round her, converts the and one, and I believe this is another foul on Alia Dunn. So pretty critical player for Otago, racking up fouls as Coach Matahari quickly hustles a substitution to the bench. Kaylee Bizet coming in now to substitute Dunn. Van Hassler will go to the big spot. She'll move across to become the 5 in this situation, but considerably smaller lineup for Otago now. Be interesting to see if Tauranga is able to exploit this, looking to get deep duck-ins for Daesh as they even the score at 12. Just over 3 minutes to go in this national semi-final first quarter. Issue with the shot clock there, so the referees stopped the play just to make the correction. Waikato won the earlier semi, so they will meet the winner of this game. They are undefeated at this stage. Otago did lose to them earlier today, and they'll be really hoping to have another crack at them. No one really addressing the ball, so these little dribble weaves and on balls are a little bit ineffective because there's no one really to screen. Otago, errant pass, and there's a turnover. And after a very, very short break on the bench, Patterson back in for Teo. Quick hook there by Coach Matahari. Perhaps a reflection of how important Patterson is for this team. They have stagnated offensively without her ability to shoot the ball. See what impact she can make on the offensive end as they retain possession through that team dead ball defensive rebounds. O'Neill, exciting prospect. I believe she is in the New Zealand under-18 program that just had a successful campaign qualifying for FIBA Asia out of Guam. Point guard with good size in her hands now. They go under the ball screen. Flat looking shot. Height release probably needs to increase. She can add that to her game. She's going to be an exciting prospect. She's a quick mover. Rogers, lovely little left to right Euro, and Daesh exploiting the lack of Dunn. Offensive board, driving back to that predominant right hand, and she has carried Tauranga to what I believe is their first lead of the game. Ball screen, they go under it again. Otago's most likely going to have to make some adjustments to deal with the fact that they are not addressing them on the perimeter. And experienced referee at this tournament, James Campion, awards that ball back to Otago on the offensive rebound. Long-time referee, former Nelson Giant, based in the Nelson area. His son was a phenomenal shooter. Lockie, Nayland College, tournament team member a few years back. So he's seen it all before. Little pinch post action as Brent, he's for a long, long time ran the triangle, and we see it there. And the little handoff actions, even though it became random basketball, leads to Patterson having space to drive to her right, and once again she draws a foul. She is a very capable shooter. She's already hit one, right wing 3. Another opportunity here. Kind of a funky motion she's got going on with her feet as she does her free throw routine, but it's pretty pure, so no one's going to argue. Multiple substitutions. Trying to get extended rest here for a few key players going into the end of the end of the quarter. Van Hassler and Dunn out, so very small unit here for Otago. Bissett battling hard. Schuler tasked with the difficult task of dealing with Daesh. And a little bit too eager to get the post up there, Tauranga. Ali McManaway. She is in the key for over 3 seconds, and that was spotted by the baseline official. So they've turned the ball over there, and Otago will look to run their 3 play to regain the lead. Interesting to see what it is here. Little dribble handoff into high on ball. Nice drive and kick sequence. Long 2-point jumper from Bizet. Good slow fake by Patterson. She kicks to Bizet again and continues to take inefficient mid-range shots. Foul on the rebounding action as Schuler was in there battling hard for Otago. Drew the foul. Baseline out of bounds, is it here? No, they're well into the bonus, so Schuler will go to the line for 2 free throws. Schuler, another member of a prominent basketball family. Mum has coached for many, many years in the Thames Valley region. Vivian and younger brother Sergio, still at Te Araha College, having a really successful season. I believe they just got a big win on Friday night. Head coach Alex Stojakovic, I'm sure, could give you more details on that. Little shallow cut to high on ball. It's not the person you want to go under on. It's Rogers' sisters. Briley. She's scored a few points in her time, so you don't really want to give her any space. And now good rotation from Dacian, straight back to the capable hands of Briley Rogers. Deep duck in there. Otago trying to get a post catch. Davison has the benefit of many, many years playing in the Auckland Premier competition with the Westlake girls side. Very good side, coached by Jodie Cameron. Her teammates, pretty illustrious teammates, Tiana Clark, Zara Gillings, and I believe Rose Davison was the captain, despite those very, very highly credentialed teammates that she had. So that was really a reflection of what great leadership skills and the high regard that former Tilfern Jodie Cameron had for her. 2-for-1 opportunity here for Tauranga, but they really haven't looked to play fast, so I'd imagine they will turn that down and look to get another inside touch. Great top block by Patterson there to prevent Rogers from being able to come off that pin down and get the catch. Dribble penetration and a foul, but not necessarily too bad in the fact that they are not in the bonus, but it does kill the fact that they will no longer get the ball back, as Tauranga will now be able to hold for the final shot. Only a 0.5 second differential. They'll be able to kill that if they hold the ball for long enough. Little bit of an extended rest here for Dace. She'll get an extra 14.5 seconds of rest as we see her subbed out, and we see Samaima, I hope I'm saying that right, Ryland. Apologies if I'm not. And they take a quick shot off that, so Otago will get 6.7 seconds here to see if they can even or even take the lead with a 3. Davison with some nifty little handles, and she's pulled up. Possibly was fouled, but the referees have determined that it was blocked, and that ends the first quarter. We see Tauranga in the lead, 17 over Otago, 15. You see there the Otago girls. It's been a very taxing tournament, a frequent number of games. This is their 6th game in 3 days. You'd imagine that their normal physical schedule doesn't match that. So there probably is a lot of people who are very appreciative of this rest here. This is one of the benefits potentially of some of the younger players. We see in the middle of shot there, number 2, Olivia O'Neill. Younger player, still training frequently with her school side and her rep side and her New Zealand representative side. So it's a real benefit to some of those players. One of the great interesting things at under 23 level is there are so many changes going on in these young ladies' lives, and so that's one of the things as a coach at this level you really have to help them with is that adjustment to living away from home and all those type of things. And sometimes it relates to not as good a fitness as maybe they had when they were still in a structured school environment a year or 2 ago. Thanks for checking in with us online if you're watching via Facebook. It's great to have you on board on Basketball New Zealand's platform here, and also if you're watching via iFilm. really happy for their support with this coverage. It's awesome to be able to bring to the viewers around New Zealand and around the globe our best and brightest young talent. For many of these players, this will be their last age group. If you're top age in under 23s, after many, many years and many, many great experiences and memories of playing youth basketball and coming to these representative tournaments, for many players, this will be their last opportunity. So a lot of nostalgia for a lot of these girls, and a lot of pride. Many of them have had some huge successes with their various teams over the years. I mean, we've already mentioned Estelle Schuler and the number of national championship Waikato representative teams that she has been a part of over the years, as being just one example. She's a relatively young player, probably has a few more rep players to go, but rep tournaments to go. Little issue with the game clock. Local association here, Capital Basketball, and the local sub-association, if you like, Porirua, doing an amazing job putting on this tournament. You really have to give credit to the likes of Desley Rathel and Penny Bishop there, coaching a team at this tournament, and as soon as their team finishes, they're right over doing score bench. Absolutely invaluable contribution from the likes of those stalwarts, and also a highly capable score bench. So if there's any issues, we know that they're going to be right on top of it. Players are probably quite happy. Maybe one of them pulled the cord on the score bench, wanted a little bit longer rest. It's a little sneaky gamesmanship. Also see there, prominent referee Julie Harris working on those live stats, and another referee who's been working hard at this tournament, Taylor Amundsen on the left, helping out with score bench here. Coach Marahaere taking the opportunity to have an extended discussion with his girls, and we see Michaela Daish, the vastly experienced player for Tauranga, taking the lead in that huddle, player led for the ladies in blue. And Mac 2 will start the second quarter. Tauranga won the first by 2. They'll be looking to extend their lead with the first possession. If you've just joined us, Tauranga in the blue, Otago in the yellow. Little triple post action as they try to go inside. And for a young lady that didn't enter the game until very deep in that first quarter, Ellie McManaway, they call her number in the first play coming out of a timeout. She delivers with a little righty push shot. Nice flash by Schuler, inside-outside look. O'Neill gives up the deflection. Otago's able to get back. Tauranga looking to go inside again. Little wheel action. Anyone could come up with this, and Otago O'Neill wanted it more than anyone else on the court and promptly got on the floor. Davison with a right to left, and McManaway, possibly inspired by her interior score. She comes with some great verticality. A lot of volleyball played in the Tauranga region, and that certainly looked like she might be a volleyball player, because 2 feet, athleticism, great verticality, high hands, and she spiked that over the baseline. Patterson, someone's son. Not really though. I mean, this girl's basketball. She's pulling up from that right corner. Good corner shooter, uses that space to really stretch the floor, gives some gravity to this Otago team, try to create some space, and well-designed play. And Otago's really going to have to get these cross screens under control, because 2 little cross screen actions. No, sorry, maybe they couldn't get under control because the ref has... yes, he has deemed it to be a foul on Otago and an interior score for Daish. And a quick timeout called. And I believe that is probably why Coach Marahaere, he's seen a couple of cross screens coming out of the break, only a minute 15 of game time ago. And he really needs to discuss a clear and concise strategy here about how Otago is going to deal with these cross screens, because they quite simply cannot continue to concede these deep interior catches. Many different ways that you can look to deal with that situation. Very prominent one is for the big to get under and the guard to bump high. At the same time, Tauranga is setting these very deep to the baseline, which may make them feel a little bit nervous to go with that strategy, because there will be a little pocket for them to pop back into and get a catch at 13 feet. So Be really interesting to see what Coach Matahaere believes is the best way to deal with this, and to see whether his players can follow the instructions. But if they don't, and if he can't, Tauranga's just found a way that they can really get some scoring avenues. Believe that they were down 15-13, so 8-0 run. Chance to make it a 9-0 run and extend the lead to 7. And in such a low-scoring game, a 7-point lead is quite a considerable lead. Otago probably came into this game with the favoritism. But if you have the best player on the court, and I think most people will believe that Michaela Daesh is the best player on the court, it's a pretty good starting point for this Tauranga team. And the best players tend to come up big in the big games. Semi-final time, she'll be looking to go off and have a big performance. Their 3-2 zone is compressed. They're really not giving up anything towards the interior as Bennett comes up with a tough rebound in traffic. And there's O'Neill with the athleticism. If there was anyone you didn't want back on that pass, she was the one. Little weave action. Davison kicks to Schuler. No one wants to shoot the ball for Otago from the perimeter. Someone probably will need to. Little nifty pass from Van Hassela. This is the young lady who will shoot the ball from the perimeter, but Bennett was aware of that, closed her out, and then running into a lot of traffic. Great help from Daesh. Davison, she really had no opportunity to see where the hoop was anymore and throw up an errant shot. Rogers, she is willing to shoot the ball from the perimeter, and though that missed, it is creating space on the interior. Lovely little rip through baseline. Tony Rampton, Nikavakona, they'd be impressed with that move. Love the little right side facing rip through baseline. Possibly Daesh picked that up watching as a kid. She showed it pretty nicely there. And once again, that zone is really having a great effect for Tauranga. 11-0 run now. Matahaere's already used a considerable number of his timeouts. He needs something to change the momentum, and maybe it'll be that travel call, the correct call, I believe, from referee Campion. He inserts a new young lady into the game. Hannah Gallagher. She's got a decent looking shot on her, so maybe she's in there to be somewhat of a zone buster to try to extend the zone. Either she'll get perimeter looks or open up the interior. Good containment there. And there's a foul drawn. Probably a mistake there in closing out so long from Briley Rogers. There's been no indication that they want to shoot the ball, and the couple of times that O'Neill has, she's missed badly short. There's probably no reason for her to close out so hard. Exceptional defense played earlier in that position by number 4, Courtney Wilson. She is in foul trouble, so she did an amazing job of keeping her hands out and taking contact in the torso. Absolutely no way that she could have been called for a foul in legal guarding position, hands out, taking contact in the chest. Referees adjudicated that really well, and 2 free throws there made. Pretty critical for Otago. They're just trying to hang in the game right now. O'Neill extending on Bennett. He's got her pinned along that right sideline. Punch screen from Wilson. Looking to swing the ball now, and that late developing cross screen for Daesh, but penetration there from McManaway kind of took away the space. And a little bit of a disputed whistle there. Turns the ball back to Tauranga. Stat play here. Looking to get interior catch. They succeeded in that. Good rebound by Schuler. Considerable length for Schuler, but not as big as some of the other girls. And that may be one of the ways they can get an advantage. Van Hassela, young, runs the floor well. She beat all the other bigs down as we see a lovely drive. Waitene. She's got good size for a perimeter player, good athleticism, and then made a really nice finish. And then what is sometimes uncommon on the women's side, showed considerable emotion with the big fist pump. It's great to see. See if it inspires her teammates, who promptly came up with a big cheer. She completes the 3-point play, and For the first time, we see the lead balloon out to double figures for Tauranga. Really, really good defensive performance from them. Their strategy of playing this compressed zone, changing the alignment a little bit too now as well, keeping them off balance. And there's Gallagher with her first look. She is a good shooter, so she'll be in the game. Her job is to knock that down. Nice little curl action and good verticality that time from Alia Dunn, playing in foul trouble. Things have gone poorly for Otago since she had to exit with that foul trouble, so Coach Matahari throwing a little bit of caution to the wind, and Gallagher gets another look. And that disputed rebound is going to see the ball be retained by Otago. And we see the younger of the two Rogers sisters re-enter, Karen Marie. Zone on this baseline out of bounds. Very prevalent strategy now in New Zealand basketball after the Southland Sharks utilised it so well in 2015, and then it became pretty much the in vogue defence on baseline out of bounds over the last couple of years. Daesh with some good help, verticality, and then corrals the rebounds. Van Hassler trying to be a pest, extending pressure, and we see a whistle as this play happens. It'll be interesting to see what is signalled here. Unusual stoppage. Does allow some substitutions to occur. Fortunate for Otago, because I do believe it was their critical player, Jenny Patterson, who was trapped on the bench trying to get back in, and there just wasn't a stoppage allowing her to do so. Big for her to get back in this game. Alia Dunn being pulled out to that corner, and great deflection. Davison with a 1-on-2 opportunity, but she's a very aggressive player. And I believe that a blocking foul has been called here on Courtney Wilson. I believe that will be her third foul. I think that he's deemed that she was deep in the charge circle and therefore could not take a charge. It's the little tiny circle you see right under the hoop there. If the player is in the air and you take a charge in that area, it is null and void. Quickly, Coach Guerra gets morale to the scorer's table, but because the second free throw missed, Wilson is going to have to continue to play. She's going to have to be very disciplined until she gets that substitution not to get another foul. See her on the right wing, closest to our picture. Inside, outside look, and that gets Rogers a look. Great box out there by Gallagher. You know, Daesh is not really looking to score off that high post, so they probably don't want to collapse. They almost want to expand off that high post catch and make sure that she can't kick out to shooters, as we see Patterson. She is a shooter, knocking it down off that right corner. And mass protest by the Otago bench as Patterson gets her hand caught in the cookie jar. Little foul. That is their fourth for the quarter. So for the remaining 4 minutes and 5 seconds, any foul that Otago commits will result in 2 free throws. Inside catch. They collapse again, but this time Daesh doesn't find the shooter on the kick out. Good help by Alia Dunn. Great verticality, waited, stayed down, and then with 2 feet on the ground, 2-hand blocked it. Olivia O'Neill on the bench is giving you her impression of how that looked, and now Dunn deflects the interior pass. And Van Hassel has drawn the foul out of Watene. And we've seen the game just in the last few moments coming back to Otago. The re-entry of Patterson. Be interesting to know on the live stats if they are keeping plus-minus, whether her plus-minus is heavily in the positive. It certainly feels like watching this game that Otago's at their best when she's in the game. Deep catch for Dunn. What has she got to go to in the block? She's initiated contact on Daesh, and the foul was called on Michaela Daesh. And Dunn given they're in the bonus, and she was looking to get to that little righty jump hook or go to the line. Young player out of Southland. Southland not having enough players to field an under-23 team in their own right, and therefore rightfully such a talented young player. We want her to have as many experiences as possible to help develop her game. She's come north to play for Otago. She shows why there are such big reps on her with two very good-looking free throws. Southland with some great players at the moment in the youth program. That was never really used to be the case, but now with the likes of Dunn and young Max Stoddart, who just dominated at the under-16 Australian Junior Championships a few weeks ago. Dominated like that, hitting threes. Briley Rogers, Max Stoddart, Tom Cowie. Great job done by the Southland Basketball Association and the Sharks developing that, and Alia Dunn is one of those prospects. They stay pretty tight in the zone, trying to take away the high post catch to Alia Dunn. They collapse on it now, and Patterson's able to sneak into the 15-foot area. Not often nowadays that you get to see people spot up for a wide open two, but kind of reminiscent of a Joe Dumas or something like that. Patterson knocks down that jumper. And they're back within 6. Can they box out Daish? They do. Gang rebounding, and the ball quickly finds Patterson's hand. She kicks ahead to Rose Davison. Davison finding the way to her right hand, over-penetrating a little bit. She's managed to retain the ball, and she's found Patterson, and despite a heavy close, she shoots, but got pressured into a miss, and Daish there, I believe, in contesting for that rebound. She has turned her ankle, landing on another player. She is weight-bearing right now, so hopefully it's just a temporary pain, but now she is looking to get the support of her teammate. This would be an absolutely game-changing loss if that is how it proves to be for Tauranga. She is now supported from the court. Round of applause from the crowd here. Has been some awesome crowds in attendance at this 23s. Late game here. A few people have gone to get their fish and chips or possibly to rest up for the final games tomorrow, but still a good little smattering of people in attendance clapping Michaela Daish for her efforts as she goes off the court injured. Critical time here, 2 minutes 30 to go in this second quarter. Can they preserve the lead or even grow it as they try to buy time, though? Daish is on the bench, promptly already has shoe off, and no shoe still on, but being attended to by one of her teammates. Courtney Wilson, good defender, can score and is at the medical kit. Possibly she's a young physio student, I'm not sure, but she's taking care of Daish. Here's McManaway. Her role could become really big now. She's had some really good moments early, and she's going to possibly have to play some heavy minutes if Daish is injured. Six seconds on the shot clock, late in the possession. Good opportunity here if Otago can force a tough shot to get a clean defensive ball from Dunn and potentially a quick score. See what Tauranga has off this. To get it to Bennett. She's penetrated, great split and a lovely little wheel by McManaway, and she's left that up on the ring. And Alia Dunn just a little bit frazzled there on that rebound, and she's turned the ball over. So Tauranga, they'll get another opportunity at this sideline out of bounds, but this time they will have a full 24 seconds available to them. Bennett once again gets the inbound catch, and she has drawn a foul, it appears. Hand check on, well, Alia Dunn was the only person in the vicinity, so I wonder if it was on her, and if that's the case, I do believe she's experiencing, sorry, they've called that on Jenny Patterson coming down from the top with a little right hand hip tag. She quickly subs out of the game. They'd made their run with her re-entry, so we see the best player most likely from both teams. Daish on the bench getting strapped up at the moment with her little injury. They're working on her knee as opposed to her ankle. And Patterson on the bench in foul trouble. So it's going to be a little challenge for people to step up to close out the second quarter. Tauranga in the blue, up 31-24. Score update soon on your screen. There we see it. Dunn defended at the high post well by Bennett. Little weave action, and Rosie Davison, it's a tough shot, but she knocks it down. She is someone who can step up in the absence of Patterson to try to keep Otago just, they were down 10, they're grinding their way back now to being 5 down. Oh, I'm not quite sure what happened there, but Davison near on face plants. McManaway battling hard, Bennett battling hard. Van Hassler at the end of it, kind of just standing under the hoop, ends up in possession of the ball. O'Neill on the push. Decision to get into their little dribble weave action. High post catch for Dunn. She's been shooting free throws well from that area. And Van Hassler beats the box out to the ball, but can't quite secure the rebound and deflects it over the baseline. Rogers to inbound. Bennett, just under a minute to go here in this quarter. Looking to get a deep catch from McManaway. Rogers playing as a very capable shooter on the interior of the zone. If they can work it to her in the high post, they will have to go into rotations. Bennett with the spot up leaves it short, but Rogers on the follow. And she completes the and one finish, and Dunn, this time it is on her, number 12, drawing the foul. And we see she will now exit the game as Bizet comes in. Foul trouble becoming a developing story in this game. Rogers makes the free throw. 2-for-1 opportunity here for Otago. By 2-for-1, we mean if they shoot the ball with more than 24 seconds left in the game, they will get the ball back for one more possession. Kind of want to at least get the shot off by 30-29. That opportunity, they've missed out on it by not being able to generate a quick enough shot. And now Tauranga will be able to hold for the final shot of the quarter. Rogers, both Rogers in fact, savvy players. I think they recognize the opportunity and they're taking their time, patient. And now they'll look to get their shot, and Rogers fires up from 3, is unable to make the shot, and the half concludes. Very good second quarter for Tauranga. They lead 34 over Otago 26. Tauranga in the driver's seat, looking to join Waikato in tomorrow's final. We see Tauranga here. Daesh, she looks like she's ready to re-enter the fray. See her just leaving picture to the left, back, weight bearing. So that will be a huge relief to coach Rachel Guerra. So while the teams discuss the adjustments they need to make, we'll go for a short advertisement break. Thank you.
The Tall Ferns culture is absolutely incredible. I've never experienced anything like it.
We're always underdogs, we always fight really hard. It's always an honour playing for the privilege to wear the jersey.
It's always just a tight-knit group of girls who fights on every possession. We're often undersized, but I don't think we've ever been outplayed in terms of heart and desire. So when I think of Tall Ferns, that's what I think of.
The Tall Ferns is a family. It's not just about the wins and the losses and the competition, but coming to see the up-and-coming players. I just feel so connected with them, just being from the same country. We get on so well, and it's, it's a great connection I have with the girls.
The grit and the fight that the Tall Ferns have, come in as the underdog and compete with these world champs and have no fear in their eyes, and they just take on anyone that comes in their path. It's something that I was really excited to be a part of. I joined the Tall Ferns in 2008, before the Olympics, and that to date might be the best experience of my life. It also opened up a whole international basketball experience for me. I'd never thought of playing professionally after college, and we got to go up against the best teams in the world, Team USA, China, Spain, the Czech Republic.
Yeah, the Tall Ferns really just showed me that there's basketball out there besides what's in America and what I was used to.
I think if I was to give any advice to young aspiring basketball athletes, especially females, it would be to work really hard, and if it's something that you love, then go for it. The world is your oyster, and especially in terms of basketball, you can do so many things with it. You can go so many places, and going to college, playing professionally overseas. It's definitely a career option for women now, and that's amazing. You know, follow your dreams definitely, but you need to work really hard at it, and if you're really passionate about it and you really care and you really love it, then you'll be amazed at what you can achieve.
Welcome back to this under-23 women's national semi-final. First half started with Otago and the dominance. Came back with Tauranga, and they have taken an 8-point lead. I'm Zico Coronel. Hopefully you're enjoying the commentary on Facebook, Basketball New Zealand Facebook page if you're watching live, or if you're on ifilm.co.nz, watching from around the world or somewhere more local. Hopefully you're enjoying the coverage, enjoying the opportunity to see these young ladies. Of course, we just saw the montage with the Tall Ferns and their recent successes. A lot of these girls will be hoping to join them in the next coming years. Molten, official sponsor of basketballs for New Zealand. Great basketballs, you know, really nice to play with, and they do a great job of supplying Basketball New Zealand with a plentiful amount of basketballs. There seem to be armories of basketballs all around the country, so we really appreciate that. If you need a basketball, of course, you can go to the Basketball New Zealand shop, and there's a number of products there that can be available to you. Tomorrow, we're going to see a full slate of games on the live stream starting at 9 a.m. So we'll see the men's 5-6 game, and then it becomes the bronze medal matches. First the women's at 10:45, the men's at 12:30, and then we really build into the main event for tomorrow, the women's grand final at 3, and then the men's grand final concluding the tournament at 4:45. So a great day of basketball on Basketball New Zealand's Facebook page or on iFilm. Really should probably cancel your Saturday plans and check out some of those games. Don't go out tonight. You've got to be up at 9 a.m. for that first game. Yeah, bright and early. So hopefully you're enjoying the coverage today, and you want to check out some of these players again tomorrow. There's going to be some great matchups, and the men's final is going to be Waikato country, almost a Fraser College old boys team with a few other players mixed in against a really well-prepared Dave Langrell coach Canterbury team. And the women's, it'll be Waikato, and the winner of this game, Tauranga in the dark blue, up 8. Otago, the second seed, actually beat Tauranga 2 days ago in pool play by 12. In the yellow, the winner of this game will be looking to match up with Waikato tomorrow. We see Dash has re-entered the game after that injury scare, and immediately she draws a lot of attention on that early post catch and makes a lovely little hook pass. A number of times Coach Guerra has emphasized getting the ball inside out of a stoppage. Used cross screens to great effect and winning that little timeout battle, and there that one early post and long pass. This is two very experienced, capable coaches, and at the moment, you know, there's probably been 3 times coming out of a stoppage that Tauranga have scored as Bennett extends their lead, and Otago's really going to have to address some of these little things that are happening to them to give up deep post catches. Otherwise, this game's going to quickly get away from them as Davison gets an open look. McManaway, who didn't start the game, but she played very, very well. So she's been rewarded with starting minutes here in this third quarter. 12-point lead now for Tauranga, and they find McManaway on the backside. Lovely little wheel by Dash. McManaway with a great pass, and these interior opportunities here for Tauranga. They're doing a great job of generating them. Some of the first half stats for Tauranga, key factors in this game. Dash is at the foul line now. No, she had 12 points on 5 of 5 shooting. 5 rebounds. And that's very good performance from her. She was ably supported by Riley Rogers with 12. Haven't got a huge amount of scoring from other avenues as we see Gallagher banking a 3, and at this point, Otago will take it however they can get it. Badly needed for them. They're shooting 8 for 37. But that could be pretty demoralizing for them. Rogers coming right back and knocking down a 3. Jenny Patterson leading the scoring for Otago, the captain, 12 points on 4 of 8 shooting. Olivia O'Neill, nice little Euro step, but she's not able to complete it. And this compressed defense that has been employed by Tauranga has been really successful for them, and the Rogers sisters move the ball there, and though they aren't able to score it, that's some good ball movement. Living dangerously, Otago, you do not really want to leave them. And interestingly, Patterson, who I believe has some foul trouble, Dunn, who I believe has some foul trouble, didn't start that third quarter. It was almost like Matahari was hoping that they could get away with that, and it hasn't proved to be the case. So he's now looking to throw a little bit of caution to the wind. They've both got 3 fouls. They're going to have to play pretty smart. Tauranga can therefore increase their aggression. They're most likely going to be very reluctant to foul. So if you drive the ball, you may find you're able to get all the way to the rim. Here we see potential isolation, good ball movement, close out by Shula, but all she manages to do is get close enough to get a big orange throat lozenge drain right in front of her. A little bit of confusion about who's addressing the wing there, and they get some nice ball movement. Olivia O'Neill, this is badly needed. She's going to have to work on her shooting if she's going to realize her potential. She has a lot of it with her great athleticism and length, and now Rogers can't quite complete it. Davison with numbers. And great job by Daesh, just controlling the interior. Her large size, ability to hold her ground if there's any contact, and length. A huge factor in the poor shooting percentage for Otago. And McManaway, an athlete, but that one was asking a heck of a lot from her. It's quickly got out to a 15-point lead. Otago's really going to have to start getting something done pretty soon. I mean, it represents over 50% of the points they've scored so far. They've been getting some nice little catches along the baseline, but one of their bigs is going to have to do something. There's Shula doing exactly that. First time she wasn't quite ready, but she was ready the second time. Lovely little righty floater. Daesh has been very aware to control any penetration coming from the guard, so hopefully they can catch her ball watching and maybe sneak people in behind her. Patterson takes a very dangerous little right-hand chop trying to affect the turnover there. She could have got her 4th foul. Would not have been a pleasant walk back to the bench for her. She now has a left corner 3, and she knocks it down. She quite simply has to keep herself in the game. She cannot commit a 4th foul. That would make Coach Matahari really think about taking her out. I mean, if for a team that's down 10, I guess her plus minus -7, so they've been slightly better when she's in the game. Also highlighting what a loss the foul trouble is of Alia Dunn. In a team that's down 10, she has a neutral plus minus. That means when she's been in the game, it's been an even game. When she's been out of the game, they lost it by 10. It's not always a perfect measure, certainly in a small sample size, but it can give an indicator. And in this instance, it does kind of support what we're seeing. Patterson with a nice little drive and draws the foul as the whistles come in quick succession here. I mean, see for Tauranga, Daesh +8, Riley Rogers +7. Gives you a little indicator of that they're playing a significant part in building this lead. Bennett, who came in because of the foul trouble, has played significantly more minutes than she probably ordinarily would. She's +17, so what an impact from Bennett, who has managed to track down that errant pass there. Shot clock winding down. She's going to get a big ball screen from Daesh to see what she can do with it. Okay, McManaway. She had the deep catch, knew it was late shot clock, and just flipped it up over her head. Great awareness of where she was on the court. All right, I'm kind of figuring, can Estelle Schuler match that, or she draws a foul? But if this was a game of horse, I would think that there's going to be a lot of people earning their first H trying to match McManaway's shot that she just managed to convert now. Schuler to the foul line. Slightly unorthodox technique, pulling that balance hand away super early. Dominant side hand looks pretty good. Straight line, good follow through. Right down the middle for that one there. And we see substitution, Davison getting a rest. She plays quite hard, so she is going to tire herself out a little bit at times. Very late decision to try to get that little trap, and it's resulted in some quick ball movement. McManaway, well, she couldn't quite flip it up over her head off the backboard that time. Probably won't happen again this game or tournament. Pedersen wide open in that corner. She had to wait for it for a long time, but it doesn't break her rhythm. It's definitely heating up here. Daish with a power move inside, and she hits. They really got to try to stop her getting to that left shoulder, because when she does, she's been very, very accurate. I don't believe she's missed yet. From the field, at least. She has from the foul line. Gallagher a little bit short. She's shown some capacity to be able to shoot. Hasn't happened yet in this game. And we see timeout called by Tauranga. They probably want to address. I see Jeannie Patterson over there. That would be number 5. Maybe Garu. She is shooting the ball pretty well from the perimeter. 2 of 3 from 3. Gallagher is 1 of 4. Everyone else has not hit, so it's not like they have to identify a number of shooters. They really need to be aware of where one is, and I'm sure Coach Rachel Guerra will be addressing that right now with her young ladies. Who's responsible for her in that zone? Perhaps it's been an adjustment by Coach Brett Matahaere. They've been playing that compressed zone, some 3-2, some 2-3, but quite often leaving the corners quite unprotected to try to protect the low posts. And early in the game, they were running a very high-oriented offense, a lot of dribble handoffs, little high ball screens, but the predominant number of their players for Otago above the free throw line extended, not really exploiting the weakness in a 3-2 zone, being the slot right at the front of the rim and the corners. We see Patterson's been making a concerted effort to get down to those corners in transition, and they've started to find her. So perhaps a very astute adjustment by Coach Matahaere, or possibly Patterson herself, as we see here in the number 5 singlet. Pointing at that left corner, she talks to Davison, maybe saying like, yo, look for me, I'm going to be there again. A little bit of extension coming out of this. They did look to trap previous possession, and it resulted in some ball movement. We now see 3-2 zone from Otago as they look to trap the corner, and they rush the pass. Waitini overcooked it, and Dunn uses her length, and Patterson now, if they had timed the pass just a little bit better and she could have taken a rhythm 3, maybe they would have got another look, but Schuler with a nice little mid-range pull-up. And we now see Otago on the back of some good jump shooting, working their way back into this game. They have changed their defensive strategy to try to apply a little bit more pressure to the guards of Tauranga, who probably don't quite have the same pedigree that the bigs do. White in there with a nice drive. She made a really tough finish going right earlier, but she can't replicate it. Shot clock resets to 14 on that hitting the rim. They've turned it over out of bounds. And Otago with a chance to be as close as they've been for quite some time. Could cut it to 6 or 5. Patterson with a lovely step through. Left that one a little long. Dunn coming very high, and the defense really trying to track Michaela Daesh. And Daesh just working the O-boards. Little Moses Malone-like performance. Gets to the O-board, then draws the foul. Second foul there. And I believe we see another very quick hook for Georgia Teo. People who probably run 400 meters and longer than she's getting to play. But, you know, it's a semi-final game, and Coach Matahari knows his players well. He's trying to get something out of her, giving her opportunities. Deep catch for Schuler. She doesn't face up. Skip, O'Neill, nice up fake. And now Davison open in that corner, and she has missed it, but they are finding space in those corners. Daesh running the floor well. Lovely pass from Waitini. Waitini playing with great emotion, taking a lot of enjoyment in the success of her teammate. Really like the way that Waitini conducts herself out in quarters. Patterson does everything but make it. They really need to make sure that they continue to find her. She is feeling it and looking to take a heat check there. Inside catch for Daesh, going hard to her left shoulder, and Estelle Schuler, she's not really sure why she got a foul, and she could probably make a pretty good case in a court of law. But what she needs to focus on is the fact that Michaela Daesh is killing them over her left shoulder going right. They need to sit on that left shoulder, push her back to her left. Maybe she can go that way, but we have no idea at this point because they've never made her do it. The moment she's getting to her strength and dominating the game. They push her the other way. If she can't do it, you've found the solution for marking her. If she can, then you have to adjust the game. And if you know nothing about a player, and potentially you're a young player listening at home, you know nothing about a post player other than the fact that they are right-handed. The great majority of players' favorite move is left shoulder to right-hand jump hooks. So you start your game plan of how you're going to defend them by taking that away, and then see if they have anything else, and then you adjust from there. Be a bit late for Estelle if she checks out this commentary and hears that advice. So she's going to have to make that adjustment for herself as this game progresses. Oh, nice little right to left cross from Davison. $1 million move. 5-cent finish, but they do retain the ball, and Patterson has space on that perimeter, and you hear screams coming from all the young ladies from Tauranga. They do not want to give her space, though. They're leaving her wide open now, and she beats the shot clock. Didn't quite get her feet aligned and had a little bit of twist on that shot. But I mean, the best avenue for scoring at the moment is Patterson. There's no way she should be given space. They overcommit to Daesh. She makes a lovely pass on the baseline and an aggressive drive by Waitene. She draws the foul on Van Hassler, and she will go to the foul line. Quick quarter. Here it feels like it's gone quickly. 4-point advantage for Tauranga in the quarter. They've extended their lead. So as much as it feels like it has been a more competitive quarter for Basketball Otago, they are still giving up ground. 2-for-1 chance again for Otago. They're more likely to explore it with their ability to generate quick shots through Patterson. Hand off into high on ball. That won't really distort this 3-2 zone. Patterson has space. Maybe lost a little confidence in her shot. She's tracking out that right corner now. Davison, a little short range pull up. And they cut it to 12. Chance to take the last shot. They double. Good strategy, because it's unlikely that Tauranga will go early and punish that risky gamble. So therefore it has very little risk. And they defend that position very well. So that's a good closeout to the third quarter there for Otago, as they had given up ground, but ultimately they are down 12 after being down 8 at the half. Going into this fourth quarter of this semi-final, it's a 12-point lead for Tauranga. See Otago there, making substitutions, trying to get a very strong unit back in the game. For the opening of this fourth quarter, we see Alia Dunn coming back into the game, most likely for Van Hassler, if we can make a judgment based on who is sitting down and who is standing up. Most coaches' protocol is that the 5 people in the game take the seats. This is pretty much their strongest unit throughout the tournament that's going to be starting this fourth quarter, and they really do need to make a run. Down 12 in a low-scoring game. You see referees looking pretty relaxed. They'll be discussing what they feel is going well in the game, possibly where they're going for dinner after this. Been a long day for the referees. They're working pretty hard, but they're looking pretty happy with themselves. A low-pressure game in some ways, 12-point lead. 2 pretty experienced, controlled coaches. Brent maybe a little bit more emotional, but tells some great jokes. Relieve a little bit of the tension. We see Tauranga, final few instructions. They'll be pretty pleased with themselves. They lost to Otago by 12 and pool played, so to find themselves up 12 going into this fourth quarter, great position to be in. There's Dace, she's been the key figure in this game. And she went off looking like she had a little injury. You know, that put a few shockwaves through the camp, but they managed to hold the lead, and I mean, she's building a really nice game. Captain for Tauranga, 18 points on 7 of 7 shooting, 4 of 9 from the free throw. Not quite so good in that regard, but outstanding game. 9 boards, strong fought, 5 fouls, plus minus a 10. Really, really pivotal factor in this game. Ably supported by Briley Rogers, not efficiently, 5 of 17, but 4 of 10 from 3. That's really good 3-point shooting. Helps to create a little bit of gravity, drawing defenders to her on the perimeter and creating space for Daesh to go to work on the bench. On the bench, that'd be pretty impressive scoring from the bench. In the interior, my apologies. Quarter starts, Tauranga in the blue, Otago in the yellow. Tauranga up 12, looking to join Waikato, their crosstown neighbours, and that's really going to help them as Rogers, they have been exceptional coming out of timeouts. They are really winning the out of timeout battle in this game. There wasn't really a play on in that situation, but the players getting it done to help support their coach. Here's what Otago has, and great help by McManaway, really showing herself to be a very valuable contributor in this game. Maybe not the big name of some of the players in this game, but she has been really, really good as she came on early. Got a significant role when Daesh was out injured, and she's really stepped up. And then we see Rogers, another right corner look, and I believe she's banked it on off the top right corner. So we've seen McManaway with the flip shot over the head. We've seen the corner bank 3, and that's very quickly seen Tauranga, who are jumping around in ecstasy, up 18. Timeout for Brent Matahaere. Otago are having to burn a lot of timeouts, and they really need to. There's no point saving them for the last 2 minutes. The way this game is going, it's going to be a moot point unless they make some significant changes to what they are doing. Coach Guerra straight to work. Here we see the scene. Otago, really critical, looking at the body language now. One of the biggest things that they have to do if they're going to come back is believe that it is possible and be optimistic. You see Shula there on the left. She's leaning forward, intently listening to Coach Matahaere. She believes. Patterson, positive influence, great captain. Alia Dunn, though, leaning back. Maybe going through her mind is a few doubts as to whether this is possible. So it's going to be really important for some of her older teammates to really make sure they galvanize the group. Plenty of basketball teams have come back from 18 down. You have to believe you're capable of doing it. O'Neill sets a great tempo, pushes the ball. Really defended that handoff well, trapped the ball. Ball reversal. They get an inside catch. Daisha's patrolling that area well. Lovely move by Dunn, and hopefully that'll get her going. She's been very, very good in this game. So her continuing to play with great intensity is going to be huge. Her length at the back of this 1-2 half-court track could be very important too, protecting the rim and possibly stealing the odd errant pass. Ball screen coming here, being trapped by Shula. Good mush, good verticality. Really, they have to do a better job. They've defended that position really well, but they've given up an easy O-board. Davison with a lack of attention to the box out. And a whistle called here. I think it's a procedural issue with the shot clock. That'll be promptly rectified by the veteran score bench crew there. And all things good to go as we re-enter the fray. Staying with this little dribble handoff. We've seen them jump out and really pin that ball, keeping it on one side. Dunn working hard. Daish doing well to deter her. Tauranga girls coming from everywhere. And I believe they called a foul on Watini, which is probably technically correct, but she is playing pretty hard there and hustling, so I think that'll be one that Coach Goethe will accept. They have made some adjustments dealing with this dribble handoff to Heilmore. They're cutting it off, keeping their player pinned to the side, not allowing them to get to the ball screen. They've defended that well. 3 there for Gallagher. She can shoot the ball. Patterson with a nice little rebound. She kicks out to Davison. Davison's had a lot of looks at 3, but she just hasn't been able to knock them down today. Remainder of the game, that storyline's going to need to change. They're going to have to score at a much more frequent rate just to get to the 62 that Tauranga currently has. Rogers left open in the corner again. Great boards, McManaway. Good kick out. Rogers' little up fake. And she's managed to draw a foul. Patterson incredulous. See if it's on her. It's not. That's probably why she's incredulous. She didn't know as Alia Dunn tagged her on the other side. Dunn, I believe that is her 4th foul. One more and she'll be done. Rogers, lovely looking technique, pure. Makes them both. Extends the lead to 20. It's a dominant performance from Tauranga. Great. And once again, the shot clock doesn't start. Very competent score bench crew, so I don't believe it'll be an issue with them. Sometimes you'll find that the buttons can be pretty sticky. And we'd love to have more funding for our sport in this country. We certainly perform exceptionally well on the world stage, the 2nd biggest sport in the country, and the world, sorry. Quickly becoming the biggest sport in youth participation in the country. It's on track to be that. Once High Performance Sport New Zealand recognises the astounding achievements of basketball New Zealand community, we may see a little bit more resources, and there'll be a flow-on effect in terms of being able to have better resource tournaments and things like that. In the meantime, we keep punching above our weight, doing an amazing job. Capital Basketball's done a great job hosting this tournament. New entity, this is, I believe, the first nationals that they would have hosted. Porirua, the Ropraha Arena, great facility. Lovely step through by Dunn, but she's having troubles getting these shots off clean. Multiple Tauranga defenders rotating down for deflections. 13 on the shot clock off that O board. They've been struggling to get the ball in, but they found Shula for a long 2, and she gets a friendly roll. You're going to need some fortunate breaks like that. 1-2-2 zone press. Just conceding the reversal. 1-2-2 zone press that concedes the reversal is more to make the other team play slower, more deliberate, reverse the ball. It's kind of the opposite of what Otago needs to achieve. They need to be making them play faster, playing aggressive pressure, trying to get turnovers as opposed to making them burn clocks. So I'm sure Coach Matahaere wants them to deny the reversal pass, or be more aggressive, potentially get into a slightly different alignment. As we see Daesh go to a very difficult turnaround to beat the shot clock buzzer. Well tracked back, Courtney Wilson, great job. Not allowing the Athletic O'Neill to get any pathway to the rim. One of the difficult things about being down here against this Tauranga team is both Rogers' daughters, you know, with two really experienced coaches as parents, they're going to be very aware of how to play this situation out, as they're making sure that Tauranga plays with a lovely tempo. Another factor in trying to make a comeback is you must control your D-boards. You can't really give them extra possessions, ability to burn more clock. Michaela Daesh makes that very hard to achieve, so she gets the O board, stick back, and I believe that is the 5th foul for Alia Dunn. So it's going to be even harder to control the boards without her. So a lot of this storyline, a lot of the narrative is building towards being a very good situation for Tauranga. I'll look to try to take their biggest lead of the game here. If Daesh can hit the free throw, she does that. Otago's going to have to play considerably faster. They do have some players that are well versed in that. Patterson, Davison, Gallagher can shoot quick. Van Hassel is a quick big. Goes into her now. She finds the kick out. Gallagher leaves it short, and Rogers once again gets the board, and immediately you see she's just taking a deep breath, killing the clock. McManaway getting it into the guard's hands, and you see they're just taking the air out of the ball. This is pretty smart strategy and understanding of time and score here from Bea Plenty. Not maybe the best pass, but they somehow managed to get it there. And once again, foul called, and Daesh continues to dominate the interior. It's been the deciding factor in this game. Matahaere deliberating as to whether he should burn what I believe is his second timeout, and ultimately he has chosen to use it. Can't take your money to the grave, and you can't take your timeouts to the aftermatch, so they really do need to try and come up with something to give them a chance. See him inserting into the game Kaylee Bizet, slightly smaller, quicker, big. I'd imagine what you're going to see is that they're going to start playing headless chook basketball, and they really don't have a choice. If they play conservatively right now, this game is just going to meander on to an easy Tauranga win. So they have to throw caution to the wind. Who cares if you lose by 40? It's a semi-final, doesn't matter. So you've got to take a David strategy here. A lot of risk, a lot of variability. You see some of the crowd looking on. There's some of the referees there. Riffed hard throughout this tournament and now enjoying watching the game, and their fellow referees performing well. They'll be eagerly awaiting to see who gets the finals appointments. That's of course what they are working towards throughout this tournament. As the teams try to make the finals, so too do the referees. Brad Clive, we saw him in shot there, worked really hard at the Australian state champs, had a great experience, really loved the way that they developed their referees over there, and I think you can really see the benefit of it. He has improved in some of his areas of his refereeing and said it was a great experience, the way they do video analysis and immediate feedback. Daesh with a free throw there. He's doing a good job continuing to make her free throws. Trying to find someone who doesn't make their free throws could be quite useful. They may be able to employ a little bit of a hacker strategy to try to extend this game, more possessions. Patterson with a quick push into handoff for Davison. And then they're trying to spring Gallagher. Patterson, nice little move along the baseline. Tough coming back to her left hand. And she'd probably collapse the D enough there that her idea should have been to make that kick out and find the shooters at that point. She does feel the burden of being their primary scorer. She can't kick it out to herself. McManaway, not her forte, and she holds the ball in that corner. Great D from Davison, good close, but beating the shot clock. Early dagger, Rogers puts them up 23. They're doing a good job of finding people on the perimeter, trying to take away the three-pointers. They've lost Patterson there though. Patterson stays in fuego. She's looking for the double team here. They probably will need some turnovers if they're to come all the way back. Pretty hard to turn over a team that's got Tony Webster sitting there as a coach. I suspect he might know a little bit about developing good guards. Suns are quite good players, Corey and Ty. Rogers showing some of their skills with a mid-range pull-up there. Corey, one of the most intelligent people in New Zealand basketball. He'd like the looks of that shot. As a commentator, I'm not sure why I'm busting out tongue twisters, just keeping it interesting for myself. Open corner three has become a shootout. That's what Otago wants it to be. They want it to be a shootout. They want it to be a lot of quick shots. That's the only way they can get back in this game. Van Haasela's got to convert this here. He needs to work on her left hand. Instead, she continues to try to use the inside hand there, which is heavily strapped. Young player, a lot ahead of her. It's all a learning experience, especially when you're a young player coming to under 23s. Knocks down the free throw. I'm sure she's got a busy calendar ahead of her. She'll take this experience back and learnings to the likes of the school regionals and hopefully the nationals. Her team qualifies. The SHIC, New Zealand Secondary Schools National Championships. Awesome to have them on board as a sponsor. BBNZ doing a great job at adding them, and Aon as sponsors this year. Really positive developments. Those companies seeing the great growth of basketball and getting on board to support the youth side of the game. It's extremely popular. Lovely left-handed push. A very ambitious shot. And Daesh able to retain possession for them. They must clean boards, Otago. They got to minimize the number of possessions that Tauranga has in the rest of this game in terms of the longevity of those positions. This allows them to burn up to 48 seconds on this position. They just quite simply don't have that amount of time to burn. And they really do intend to burn pretty much all of it. Rogers, step back going right. Hello, Paul Pierce. That's a lovely piece of skill right there. Drive and kick, trying to find space for Patterson. Well tracked, open look for Gallagher. And she knocks it down. Great bench support there from Olivia O'Neill. She's been a fantastic teammate. Patterson, she doesn't want to give the foul there. It's being called pretty quickly, and she is in deep foul trouble, but I do believe that is her fourth. So she has none to give at this point. She would foul out if she gave another foul. Difficult because they're going to be trying to extend pressure, trying to be aggressive, trying to generate steals, and at the same time not risk a foul because they do need her in the game to affect any comeback. Rogers, she was thinking about stepping back and pulling another tray ball. Instead, they work it into Daesh, and Daesh finishes along the baseline. Swing the ball. Davison thinking about shooting the three. She turns it down and dribbles into a long two, gets her own offensive board. And Van Haasela can't fault the effort, and I think you'll find that's a foul. No, it's not. So Guerra quite subtly chopped out Patterson at the legs there and affected the turnover. A very subtle tackle, well executed. Otago trying to affect the turnover. Daesh now up to 23 points, I believe. Rogers, high dribble, brought Van Haasela out of her stance and made her way along the baseline. Foul called. She will go to the foul line. Capable shooter, most likely will knock down two. I don't think there's any physical connection between commentators and shooters, but it does appear I've hexed her there. If you can work out the actual relationship there, That would be very useful because you could make a heck of a lot of money as a commentator, betting and hexing. Can't be a real thing because no one's explored it. Patterson tried to fire from deep and didn't make it, and she's now pursuing the ball, trying to get a turnover, but instead she's got the 5th foul. And Jenny Patterson's had a tremendous tournament, had a really good game, been gallant in this effort that will most likely prove to be a losing effort. Gets a warm round of applause from the crowd. The great sportsmanship displayed by Tauranga, also clapping her efforts and her teammates. That'll be the end of her semi-final. Courtney Wilson, she's been a valuable contributor, got the early foul trouble, but been extremely disciplined in keeping her hands out and making sure that she would stay in this game. And we now see Rose Davison exiting the game from Otago. I think that might be a little concession speech there. Georgia Teo swings the ball back. She's looking to get that 3 up. Giggles to herself as they closed out her options. And Rogers, control of the situation. Lovely hesitation. Surfs the baseline. Putting on a little Steve Nash-like clinic along that baseline there. Keeping her dribble. Running clock. Get them with the hesitation again. Flying McMahon away. Great for her. She's had a huge game. Big factor when they were struggling early to keep them in it. She's a big reason why they're going to join Waikato in the final. Bizette fires it up. Georgia Teo on the offensive boards, trying to make a positive contribution late in this game. There she fires a 3. Gets another offensive board and draws a foul. So Tauranga, they'll join the across the Kaimais, I believe, if my geography is good enough. Rival Waikato in the final tomorrow. Definitely want to join us on the BBNZ Facebook page or iFilm tomorrow. Live stream starting at 9 AM with the boys 5-6 game and continuing on throughout the day. We're going to see the bronze medal matches. Some outstanding teams will be playing in those games. I believe you'll see in the women's Otago play again. So, I mean, if you've tuned in, maybe you're a relative or a loved one, or you have an interest in any of these players, you can check in tomorrow and watch them play again. And then as the day progresses, we'll see Hutt Valley and the boys play in the 3-4 game against the loser of the other semi-final. They lost to Waikato Country. That was Otago, of a great tournament. And then as we progress in the day, we will see first the women's final, Waikato, and you really should check that game out. There is a number of young ladies in that team who I don't think they know how hard it is to win a national title. They've won so many age group levels. You know, River Walker-Pittman, you win a championship and she sends you a Facebook message telling you your photos are rubbish, you know, and they're a bit blurry and you have to apologize. Well, sorry, River, I don't know how it is to win 48 championships a year, but I'll work on it. They're looking for another one. And then, of course, in that game, you know, you try not to blow players up too much, but Charlize Ledger-Walker, she is a pretty special player, great kid, works exceptionally hard as this game draws to a close. And, I mean, the fact she's year 11 at school, she wins pretty much the MVP at every tournament she goes to, irrespective of age. She's probably looking at it for under 23s. So any chance you get to see her, you're watching what may be our greatest youth player of all time. And it's a chance to see her again tomorrow. And then the day will conclude with the men's final. A very good Waikato Country team led by Hiram Harris will match up with an extremely well-prepared Canterbury team. As this game winds to a conclusion, valiant effort from Otago, but Tauranga reverses the result from pool play. They lost that by 14. They win this by a considerable margin of 26. What an effort by Tauranga as they book a place in tomorrow's final. Excellent job by Coach Guerra. There you see the young ladies pleased with themselves, but not overly emotional. They obviously believed that this was something they could accomplish. And if you enjoyed that, check us out. Facebook, BBNZ tomorrow, iFilm. Ka kite anō. Good night.